So Carmen McKinnon, who oversees this program, she wrote and said that Marie runs a very tight ship and is on the spot, and we have one of the best programs, if not the best, in the state of Idaho. We are kind of the, for no better term, flagship of this program, and we actually are what other agencies are looking at on how to operate this program across the state. So Marie's done a great job, and I'd like for her to be able to present that.
Yeah, okay. Come on up, Marie. How are you this evening?
Hi, Mayor. Thank you for having me and City Council. So I've been involved with the car seat program since about 2003. I was brought in by Art Lindquist, who's now a sergeant, who started the program in Moscow. And he also was kind of fundamental in starting the program in this area because he worked with a team down in Lewiston who started the whole thing. And so he really deserves the credit for starting it and bringing me on board. And we've tried to grow it every year since then by training more technicians. And for those of you that don't know, a car seat technician goes through a 4-day training where they learn how to install every car seat in every car for every kid, and it's long and involved, and they do great work. Just as an example, I was off on vacation, and a gentleman came into the police department and wanted a car seat check, and I hooked him up with a technician at Nissan, Quad Cities Nissan, and they ended up doing it someplace else. But they have also, we have lots of partners community-wide who help us with this program, which is really awesome. They ended up at Spence Hardware, who actually moved some of their pallets out of the warehouse so they could pull the car in because it was pouring down rain that day. And anyway, that child went away with, or that family went away with 2 car seats because their children were in very unsafe situations. So just having, point of contact at the police department where I can call a tech and say, hey, can you, meet with this family and do a car seat check? And then I provided the seats for them from the grant that we get from the state, which comes, from the federal government. And then they distribute it to all the areas. And our area is District 2 Health District. So it goes all the way from Grangeville up to the northern border of Latah County.
I got a question for you, Marie, because you'd mentioned Spence's, you mentioned Nissan. Do we have a list of those technicians that are available to do that throughout our city somewhere? Is that on our website? Or
I have a email list where I can just shoot out an email to all of the active techs in the area, which is generally what I do. We also have a brochure that we give out to people that has all the techs listed with their contact information, and I would be happy to make that available to you as soon as I update it.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty neat to know.
Put it on the website?
What's that?
Put it on the website?
Yeah.
That would be a good thing. We also have
many.
You
may run into things like that too, is even more from sure, parents will do that with the kids, but like grandparents, for example. I mean, these seats are different from what they were a couple of decades ago.
Yeah, and we do a lot of car seat checks for grandparents. And what we get sometimes is grandparent will come in with a brand new car seat and say, I'm going to pick up my grandkid in Spokane. And normally we require a kid to be there, but now we have dolls that we keep at the police department so that we've got, little ones and big ones so that we can teach the grandparent or the parent how to correctly install the child in the seat, and then they go up and pick up their grandkid.
Yeah, that might seem like a little thing, but it actually is a big thing. You have a question?
At the committee meeting, you gave some of the numbers about how many people that you had been able to help.
So every year, part of the grant is we have to do a yearly report. So this is my report. Okay. It has a lot of stats in it. And in 2015, we distributed 94 car seats to families in District 2. In 2016, and I did this a little different, so I have to search for the numbers. It was 220. So it went from 94 to 220. And part of that is it kind of has to do with what's going on politically too, because our numbers went up drastically between 2015 and 2016 because a child down in the reservation was killed, and because they weren't in a car seat. And so we got more technicians down there, and they've been just giving away seats like crazy. They've been really working hard. And that's a lot of the increase was reservation related. families, which is great because they really need those resources. We did 238 car seat checks in 2015. Now, car seat check might also include a car seat distributed, but not necessarily. So it might be a family coming in with, a couple of children and that are already in car seats, and we check those seats and they're fine. And there might be a few things wrong, or they might have questions, they can't get it tight, and we help them with those kind of things. And then if they do need a new car seat and they can't afford one of their own, we'll provide one and we'll ask for a donation towards the replacement cost of the seat. So in 2015, again, it was 238. In 2016, it was 472.
Wow, really?
So lots more seats checked, yeah. Yeah. We're not going to be quite as high this year because we lost a few technicians, but we're trying to, put feelers out to get more law enforcement officers certified. Last year we certified an ISP trooper for the first time in probably 10 years. So that's a good thing. We also provide lots of information to the families. We have a program called the WHALE program, which is statewide. Stands for We Have a Little Emergency. It's an envelope that has a sticker on it that goes on the car seat, and then stickers that go around the vehicle. And on the sticker that goes on the car seat is emergency contact information for the child in case the driver is incapacitated. And last year we gave away like 792. So we give those away. We give more of them away than we do car seat checks. We go to Walmart or different fairs and whatnot. We have information booths and we hand out stuff. So that went up drastically from the year before as well. So we have many, many area partners. I have a list of them, which is, you can see this is just a typewritten list of all those people, and some of them are car dealers, Lewiston Health Department, Fire Department, police departments, all the area hospitals, Police Care Network, Walmart. Pretty much anyone that we ask for help will help us because it's a good program and serves the community really well. So it's so this year the grant is a little bit different. We want to apply for the grant again because things are uncertain at NHTSA. They don't know how much money they're going to get for the grant. So they are offering $5,000 to buy car seats and then additional money for trainings. So our grant is asking for that $5,000 and then additional money for the trainings that we're going to do next year to not only certify new car seat technicians, but also to continue ongoing training of them and ongoing training for the instructors, and we have 6 instructors just in this district, mostly in Moscow, Pullman, and 1 in Hooper, Washington. So we have quite a good group of people to train other technicians.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Questions for Marie? I think it's a great program. And the numbers are speaking for themselves, and safety seats for kids and the safety checks and teaching grown-ups how to do it, make sure they're in properly is a big thing.
85 to 95% of the seats that we check are incorrectly installed or used.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember something you talked about in committee was when people can get checked. Not normally necessarily the safety fairs, but what's the easiest way to find out how to get checked?
Right now, probably the easiest way is for them to call me.
Oh, okay.
Because then I can send out, if I can't do it, I can send them to somebody, I can get a hold of people that can do it. So we also have an instructor at the fire department, but he just started there and his schedule is kind of crazy. So we're trying to work on getting more technicians in Moscow. Right now we have more in Lewiston and Pullman actually than we do in Moscow. So Gritman also has technicians, and Pullman fire, police, and hospital.
So through your email?
Yeah, or they can call me on my work cell.
What is the number of that?
It's 208-310-2774.
Thank you.
I wonder, Marie, if it would be smart maybe to partner with the Chamber of Commerce in other places in order to get the word out. Because I wonder sometimes if parents or somebody may be a little bit embarrassed because they think they're dumb about not knowing how to hook these things up. And I know, and they're kind of interesting. They're a little tricky. I mean, my grandkids taught me how to hook things up because it's a little bit different unless you're working with them all the time and familiar with it. So they may be feeling a little awkward about not knowing how to do it, just thinking, oh, this should be a simple thing.
Well, and a lot of them, I think, not only that, but they don't know that they don't know.
Well, there you have it.
All they know is that they did the best they could, and the stats show, State Farm did a study a few years back that shows that even if you're using the car seat incorrectly, the child is still so much safer than if they're not in a car seat at all.
Well, that brings up another good point. Even local insurance companies, State Farm and Farmers and places like that sell car insurance, you'd think that they would, seems to me like anyway. So.
Well, actually, when I started in this program was the year that John Kimberling and I started the Officer Newville Kids Safety Fair, and that's what it was all about, was State Farm partnering with us to put on the safety fair specifically to do car seat checks. I mean, when it started, it was pretty much just car seat checks and John, doing his little table thing, and then it grew to what it is now. Yeah. It's kind of amazing. Yeah. So, I haven't really reached out to other insurance agencies, but I'm going to meet with the chief and talk about some options, just because we're going to need more money if $5,000 is all we get, because the demand is just there. We got $5,000 extra money this year from the state, so we got $15,000 total for car seats, and we spent it all. And we only have, I think I've got maybe 25 car seats left in our storage room. So the demand is certainly there.
Okay. Walter.
For those of you that didn't remember Marie's cell phone number, you might call the non-emergency number of the Moscow PD.
Yeah, you can always
which is 882-COPS, and ask for the lady that does the child safety seats.
That's
and
me.
They will find her.
Yes, they will.
882-COPS.
Okay.
Anything else?
Other questions for me?
With that, Mayor, I would make a motion that we approve the proposed funding request to accept an anticipated award of $9,500 from the Idaho Transportation Department Office of Highway Safety.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Walter and a second by Gina to approve the proposed funding project to accept an anticipated award of $9,500 from the Idaho Transportation Department Office of Highway Safety. And I'll start with you, Walter.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Your excellent work on this. You're on. Okay.